the shirt does bring the question. When did you guys get him? Did you appreciate? Did he say something to you in the locker room about the no excuses? Where'd that come from? When did you first get to it?
I think we got the shirt like a month ago.
Oh,
Yeah, like, I think we got a shirt a month ago. It was just like, I mean, we was just sitting on our chairs when we came back from practice one day. So yeah, that's where the shirt came about.
You guys use that phrase often, especially when you have the injuries that you guys have had to deal with and stuff like that?
Yeah, we've been saying that since the summertime. Just no excuses. We're here to do our job regardless. So injuries or not, or no injuries, like we're going to do our job regardless.
Most teams will have some sort of mantra or thing like that, that they kind of bank on during years. Sometimes it doesn't take, though. Sometimes it looks like it's taken, like it is with you all. Is that due to personalities, the character of you all involved? What do you think makes it work?
It's the identity of our coaching staff and how they coach us. Is very open with us. Just tells us that like opportunity is always knocking, and that we have no time for excuses because we want to win, and we want to do the best that we can for this program.
So this is kind of a two-part question. You played a lot of college basketball, a lot of games, big games, conference games. Have you ever been involved, feeling-wise, like the Kansas game? Have you ever experienced anything like that?
No, I've never experienced anything like that. That atmosphere was amazing. The crowd was crazy. I could barely hear myself think, but it was a good environment for our team to go into and come out with a win.
So the second part is, there's a lot of guys on the roster that probably felt the same way you. How do you go from that to, okay, hey, we got a game coming up on Saturday? There's a euphoric high and then getting ready for another game. Is that fair? Is that possible?
Yeah, like we preached in the locker room right after the game that it's okay to be excited about this win, but it's on to the next because we didn't win anything yet.
Right.
We understand we haven't arrived, that we still have so much improvement to do. So like we just on to the next chapter. After that night and New Year's Eve, whatever, we just flip the script and we get ready for another good team that's coming to play us.
The trip back was better than the trip up, right?
Yeah, most definitely was.
Toby, what did you do and/or feed Eduardo over Christmas for that game? How about from Jersey?
I think he just got the New York and Jersey experience a little bit. Yeah, he just went over there and had a good quality time out in New York. He's never been out there that long for Christmas time, and it's always a good vibe out there.
You mentioned that the team hasn't arrived yet. There's still things you can improve on. So where do you guys where can you get better?
I think that we can get better at execution part. We did have a lead, and we just sometimes just took fast shots and just was flustered and played into the crowd's hands. So just we controlled the pace of the game for most of the game. It was just that we need to be a little bit more composed in that. Myself and our team got to be a little bit more composed in that moment to control crowds like that.
Did it surprise you that when you look at the stat sheet after the game that Kansas had 4 fast break points, and that's not Kansas basketball, that you were able to do it so well?
I'm not surprised because all week we've been preaching that we have to slow them down and keep them in the half court because we know we can guard them when it comes to in the half court. And our coaches got us prepared throughout the week with drilling that into our minds, no transition points.
So you say you can barely hear yourself think in that atmosphere. Could you imagine playing in it when you were Pal's age? And can you just talk a little about what you saw from him kind of handling that environment?
Yeah, as a freshman, going into an environment like that, it's very nerve-wracking. You come from high school, but you've never played in a gym like this. I'm proud of him because he's always been ready for the moment, and he doesn't shy away from it. But he did have a lot of positive things to, like, throughout the week in practice, because you knew it was going to come. Like, he was going to be ready for his moment.
What did you learn about this team that maybe you didn't know, when you guys were all put together?
Just how quick that we handle adversity. That there's sometimes you see teams that break apart when you start losing the lead. I think that we just came together a little bit more to just figure a way how to win. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how you win. Sometimes you have to win ugly. So what we figured out, that we just came out with a win.
How do you view yourself as a player and your role here, and how have you added to what you were as the season's gone on?
I see myself as like a jackknife. I mean, whatever role that coach wants to put me in, I can do. Whoever he wants me to guard, I can do. And that since the season's moved on, injuries, no injuries, whatever he needs me to do that's going to help the team, screening more, cut more, rebound more, or just score more. Whatever he wants me to do, I'll do for this team for us to continue winning.
Have you reached heights maybe that you didn't know you had?
I definitely have reached heights. Coach has challenged me to be a little bit more strategic on how I practice and practice a little bit harder. Even if I'm going hard, just turn it up a little notch with the talk or with my energy in practice. So I've definitely grown in that aspect.
You talked about your ability to, as a screener and as a cutter. Was that something you've always been able to do well? Is it something that's new to you, and how does that benefit you and the team?
I'd say it's not something that's new, but it's something that was more emphasized this year. I understand that setting great screens gets you open and give our team the best shot to score. So it was a lot more emphasized this year than my past years, which is better for me. It helps relieve like the pressure of me like scoring or whatever, because it just comes naturally.
The coach was talking after the game about the great sense of belief that was in the locker room. And sure, there probably weren't a lot of people outside of the locker room who thought you guys could do what you guys did. But, and, that all sounds great and everything, but with all the circumstances being, with the travel and the guys being injured and obviously you lived it, I don't have to tell you about. The fact that you guys still had that belief, why? I mean, what goes behind that? Because there were a lot of odds, obviously, against you guys that I'm sure you guys recognized. I mean,
Yeah. I would say that a regular team would just take that as another excuse to lose a game. And at the end of the game, you're going to say, we didn't get any sleep. We didn't. For us, is we just line them up and just let's play ball. Because at the end of the day, like, you tie your shoes up just like we do. So we have to go out there and give us our best shot.
So part of the belief angle, when you hear this game plan, you're a team that likes to get out in transition, get early opportunity shots. They're going to slow you down, going to bleed the shot clock. Not even going to cross half court until 8-9 seconds run off. How long does it take you to recognize in the flow of the game, hey, this is working? We were coached to do this game. We can win playing this way.
We watched a lot of film, and our coaches got us ready for this specific game, that we can get whatever we want offensively just because we cut and we screen, that we can play our game and slow it down and take them out their rhythm defensively. So our coaches definitely had us prepare with the game plan for us to slow the game down in the half court.
That could be hard to do. It seems like, hey, we're all fired up. Let's go. We're going to play Kansas. You get that? Is that a thing of every time across, bringing the ball up, you're saying, okay, got to remember what we're doing here?
Yeah, it's just honestly game planning. It might be, if we have a fast break opportunity, of course we'll take it, but for the most part, is just playing the long game. We know that we have two halves to play, and we want to play into our hands, not their hands.
Toby, can you take me through the inbound pass that they stole and then the play you made on defense there? Because that's quite a roller coaster right there.
Yeah. The inbounds pass was, I thought he was open. I ended up throwing a turnover, but I couldn't just melt there because I knew the time and score. So I just tried to make the play on the ball as best as possible and try to get a stop. And it worked out in our favor. And we came out with a win because that was a roller coaster, but we and my team have no time to be focusing on the turnover that just happened. We just have to get a stop and get the rebound.
The nerve to go up and try to make that play in that building, you don't maybe know that like us do, I guess, but like, did you even think, I shouldn't go up, I shouldn't try? Like, look what Sincere did, like that was a close play, but I mean, or was it just instinct, I have to go up?
Yeah,
Protect him?
the best thing was to just jump wall in that situation because he was already going to meet me at the block, and that I already have 4 fouls, so I'm going to use that last foul, like, if anything, because I don't want them to win the game, simple as that, and that we need to come out there with a win, so.
Does that come up in all the cut-ups they show you in the film the day after, just that quick sequence and highlight, low light?
We haven't looked at film just yet. We have looked at film, but it's just plays that we know that the 15th guy on our team is going to take, that's going to do for us. It's nothing like very glorified because we know that that's how we play every single day and that we treat every single possession like that.
Talking about films, you've played elsewhere. How different are the film studies here? Are they more intricate? Do they get on you more or less? Or how different is watching film with Coach DeVries and your coaches?
Watching film with Coach DeVries and the other coaching staff and like our film studies is very specific. Game planning wise, we're not in there for too long because we understand that like our minds will start wandering. So like they break it up in bits and pieces, and maybe before practice, individually they'll show you some clips on who you guard and specifically, which helps game planning wise. Because if you know your player that you're guarding, it helps the game plan of how we're going to guard you guys.
You got the point across about how you were going to handle the big guy.
Yeah.
Pretty well. I mean,
Yeah.
it seemed like everybody on the team knew what he was going to do and when he was going to do it. Is that normal, or was that a little extra?
That was normal. That's how we game plan for every other game before. Doesn't matter who we play. That's how we study film every single day.
So on that last defensive play, you walled up. According to the rule book, that can never be a foul on you, but you know from experience a lot of times that gets called, maybe with Sincere's,
Yeah.
maybe with some other. Does that enter your mind at all, or is it just so quick you're saying, I've just got to execute the way I've been taught to?
Yeah, that didn't cross my mind at all. I just needed to get a stop because I just threw a turnover. And the number one thing when you throw a turnover is just get it back. Like, just get it back. And that's what I tried to do, and that's what ended up happening. Sometimes they might call a foul, but I can't control that. At the end of the day, we let the refs talk to coach, and they deal with that. But they hopefully didn't call a foul on that one, and we got to stop. So yeah.
There was obviously a lot of talk after the game on the very last play, the long inbounds. Jonathan on defense, whether or not it was a foul. What did you see? I mean, obviously you guys have just gone in the lead and there's only 1.8 seconds left. Just kind of take us through that last second and a half.
Yeah, that play was crazy because I thought they were going to end up like calling a timeout because they had the timeout, but they threw a baseball pass all the way down the court, and if it was a foul or not, in my head it wasn't a foul because he's on my team. So, so like I just took it as that. Like, if you're not going to call a foul, thank you. And we just left there with a win. I'm not the officials. Thank God that the officials were on our side for that specific play. So, and we left there with a win. So.
Did Jonathan say anything after the game about
I don't think he needs to. I don't think he needs to. The refs spoke for itself. It wasn't a foul. So, so yeah,
good enough?
yeah.
Toby, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one.
Thank you. Happy New Year.